A new survey reveals that 70% of Americans say they're forced to give up what they love due to heartburn. So here to discuss this is Dr. Clenton Coleman. So Clenton Coleman, can you tell us more about this survey? I'm sure a lot of people want to know what you have to say.
Definitely, but let me start off with saying how stressed we've all been in the past 2 years. These years have been uniquely stressful with work, not returning to work, financial insecurities, not being able to interact with our friends socially, our family. We have Thanksgiving coming up, so we're all looking forward to that. And you can imagine how bad stress can be for your body, for your health. It can lead to decreased productivity, decreased mood. It can also lead to poor sleep habits, and it can also lead to overeating, whether you're eating too much or eating late. So those are common problems. Now, this survey, Nexium 24 Hour, found that 64% of respondents actually felt so stressed about returning to normalcy that it was heartburn inducing.
Really?
We've gone through all this, and now we're even stressed about going back to normal things. So this is a huge problem.
Right. So then, I don't really deal with heartburn that much. I know what it is, but can you explain exactly what heartburn is and maybe how we can prevent it? Because I know a lot of people deal with it.
Right. So heartburn actually has nothing to do with the heart. I think the easiest way for me to explain heartburn is just describe how food is digested. So you eat food, it goes in you chew it, you swallow it, it goes down your throat into the which is that food pipe in the middle of your chest. And the lower part of the esophagus is called the lower esophageal sphincter, which is a muscle that acts like a gate that allows food to go down into the stomach where digestion takes place, but prevents the strong stomach acid from going back up or refluxing. But when that stomach acid refluxes, we get that sensation, that burning, gnawing sensation in the neck, in the throat, and the chest, which we characterize as heartburn. You also may have sour, bitter taste, some nausea. There's some common triggers that we implement with heartburn, particularly foods that are high in acid, like citrus foods, spicy foods, caffeinated beverages, carbonated beverages, alcohol. Smoking is a common trigger. Stress, which we talked about, is a common trigger. Also, bad eating habits. Whether you're overeating or comfort foods, these are all triggers for stress. So the good thing is there's a lot of things that we can do to prevent heartburn.
That's so interesting. I didn't realize all of those things. I will admit, though, red wine sometimes does it to me, but for the most part, not dealing with it. But what are some common myths that you hear?
I think the most common myth I hear is that it's all about spicy foods, which is not necessarily true. So
Right.
for you, red wine is a culprit, but alcohol in general, smoking is a major trigger because it causes that lower esophageal sphincter to dilate, and that allows for the acid to go back up. So there's a lot of things that we aren't aware of that can exacerbate our heartburn. Also wearing tight-fitted clothes, just the sheer pressure, the compression can cause heartburn symptoms by not allowing the digestion to take place. So there's a lot of things that we misthink for causing heartburn that are really important to be aware of.
Right. Okay, so then let's talk prevention. How do we prevent it, and where can we go for more information on that?
So I think the best thing to do is work on our lifestyle changes. So exercising, losing weight is helpful. Avoiding trigger foods. So for you, avoiding that glass of wine, or at least knowing that if you had that glass of wine that you may have heartburn the next day. Sometimes we don't know what our triggers are, so it's a good idea to keep a food diary so you can know that cheesesteak that you had last night was the culprit. Reducing stress is extremely important, so meditation, yoga, mindfulness is important. And there's medications that we use, proton pump inhibitors like Nexium 24 Hour, that it's hard to reduce your stress, change your lifestyle, comfort foods. So being proactive in treating heartburn with something like Nexium 24 Hour actually allows you to get back to some normalcy. It's very effective at blocking the acid secretion, so you can actually relieve that heartburn and get back to the things that you enjoy doing.
And how do we find out more about it, Nexium 24?
So you can get more information at nexium24hr.com.
All right. Thank you so much. I mean, we really need this time of year, right, with all the stuff we're eating and the stress we're dealing with. So if you'd like to see this segment again, just head on over to firstcoastliving.net.